All right, y'all. We live at this moment. Let me share this
And some shit.
to our group, even though all the Jordan fans are afraid to get on. But what else is new? What else is new?
Tell hey, what we should do is tell them Jordan fans start their podcast and invite us and see if we get ghosts. Bitch, we're gonna be right there in their motherfucking grill, bitch. Going toe for toe. Well, I know I would, but I don't see none of that shit. No, and I
Nah,
go live, I swear, I go live in any group, right? Motherfucker act like they ignore them. Oh, we what are you talking about? We want to do a shit on the 90s. I mean, shit, I'm just calling a spade a spade. You know what I mean? But people jump on that they never address the information I'm presenting. They just go in trying to attack me, thinking that shit gonna phase me. Shit, I already knew I was gonna be facing that before I even hit that live button. So I give two fucks about that. Let's talk about, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the stats. Let's talk about what went on back then. And when we want to make a comparison of both eras, we can do that too.
all right, so let me share our first topic. You gonna do the NBA stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
All right.
obviously, with the season ending this year and the Lakers not making the playoffs and all the talk about them having the all NBA and all these Hall of Fame players and everybody always love to talk about super teams and super teams that and LeBron's the super team creator and blah blah blah. Well, I got
So
a
go and
list.
bust their head open.
Yeah, I got a list of all the NBA teams that had either two or more all NBA players that either made the finals or actually won the finals. All right. And then going back all the way to the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Actually, the 50s, if you go back to the 50s. So what you see here on this graph, you basically see all the teams that had two or more all NBA players on the same team that made the finals or won the finals. So the asterisk means they made the finals, and obviously the trophies means they won the finals. And then you see the teams that actually had three all NBA players in the same season, but they didn't make the finals or do anything, but they're on this list also. And when you look at this graph, it really gets to show you when these guys talk about super teams and non-super teams, you can see there were super teams in the NBA from the beginning. If you want to consider super teams having three caliber players on your roster. Even if we go to the All-Star, we have an All-Star one that I can bring up, but we're just going to stick with all NBA because that means the whole season. It wasn't just half the season. It was the whole season, and you are top three in your
In top
position.
three, exactly. And I
Top two in
respect
your
all
position.
NBA
Yeah,
more
exactly,
because yeah,
exactly. And then
exactly.
so when you look at that list right there, off the top in the 90s, the Bulls never really faced any teams that had two all NBA players besides the 91 the 91
91
Magic.
Pistons, Magic.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, the
okay.
91 Magic,
Yeah.
and they also faced the 96 Sonics. They had it,
But
and
hold
then the
on,
Jazz.
the Magic and wait, they faced the Magic in '91.
Well, they no, not the Magic,
We talking
the
about the
Lakers,
Cavs.
the Lakers, 91
Okay,
Lakers.
yeah, okay,
You got
okay.
91
In
Lakers.
the finals, yeah.
You got the 95 and 96 Magics. You got the
Okay.
96 Sonics, and then you got the Jazz. All right,
Okay.
Okay.
those are the only teams in the 90s that had and there was one team from the Pistons in 1990. They had two all NBA players, but they didn't make the finals that year. Obviously, I mean, they won the finals that year, so the Bulls lost to them. All right, but then when you go to LeBron's era, starting from 2005, the Suns had three all NBA players in 2005. They didn't even make the finals. Then you had also in LeBron's era, you had the Spurs in 2013. You had the Clippers in 2015. They had three all NBA players. All right. Then you had the Warriors in 2015 having two. The Warriors in 2016 had three. All right. And then from 2017, 18, and 19, you already know the Warriors had three all NBA because that's when they added KD. So
Yeah, yeah.
from 2016 to 2019, the Warriors had three all NBA players on their roster each year.
Jordan never beat a team like that.
No,
Never.
Jordan never faced a
Not
team
with
that
three All NBA. Not face or
not
beat a
with three all
team.
Over
NBA.
face.
In
Yeah.
fact, if we go to that, there's only 9 teams in NBA history who had three all NBA players on their team or more, and only one of them was in the 90s, and that was the 95 Supersonics. And then other than that, 4 of them were in the 2000s. Okay, and LeBron had to face those, and then in the 60s and the 50s, you had the 60s Celtics. 64 Celtics had 3 all NBA players, and then in the 50s, you had a Laker team, and then you had a Hawks team, and I believe a Warriors team that also had 3 all NBA players on those teams. But when you look at who won championships, you can see that it wasn't all of them. So not all of them were successful. Not all of them made the finals. You know what I'm saying? So now obviously the 2002 22 Lakers is a horrible season. They're a disappointment. But when you talk about all these teams that LeBron's played on, he's never really had 3 All NBA players on his team. Okay, he's never had that alone. So as you can see here in the graph, and he had to face teams that had that or even better. So the 90s didn't have any teams really with 2 or more All NBA players besides the Bulls and the Jazz, but throughout the whole 90s.
Let me play devil's advocate real quick. So Miami Heat in 2011, they had 3 All NBA players, correct?
No, they only had 2. Bosh didn't make an All NBA team.
Bosh never made an All NBA, and D Wade was never first team.
Okay, got you.
But should I say he was never first team while with LeBron? But we know Pippen was first team while with Jordan on a couple
and
of
without
Jordan.
Pippen made 7. Pippen made 7 All NBA teams in the 90s. He made 7.
Now, how many of them were first team?
I think it was about. I think it was about 4. I think it was 4.
3 or 4.
Pippen was first team All NBA and first team All Defense with Jordan and without Jordan. That's how good Pippen was.
Yeah. Well, Pippen was All Defensive first team 8 times in the 90s. Mm-hmm. So from 92 all the way to 99, 98, 99, he was all first All NBA team. He has a total of 10 NBA 10 all defense selections, but he has 8 first all defensive selections in the 90s. But he has 7 All NBA's totals in the 90s, which is top 5 in the 90s, because the only people who actually have more All NBAs than him in the 90s is Jordan only has 7 in the 90s, because remember Jordan didn't play in 94, 95, and then he didn't play 99. But only David Robinson, Stockton, and Malone have more All NBAs than Pippen in the 90s. So but again, when they talk about all these super teams that LeBron's the only ones, a lot of these teams, and when you really want to think about it, after Dennis Rodman was an All NBA player in 1995, the Bulls acquired him right after that season and put him on the 96 team.
He made first team All Defense too, though. He made first team All Defense in 96.
I know that, but when they say, these guys didn't, teams who didn't build players to go snatch up players. If you go look at here, if you see the 1983-84 Sixers, they have 2 All NBA players, and they won a championship in 83. And they won a championship in 83. They went and got Moses Malone, the league MVP from Houston Rockets, who was a 3-time All NBA player, and then a MVP, and then end up winning the MVP in 83 and making the All NBA team with Dr. J and winning a championship. So that was another team that did that. If they won't even go to the All Stars, because they love to say, "Oh well, it's the All Stars." LeBron's playing
every angle. All-stars. They get killed in every angle, man.
Yeah,
All Stars, All NBA, Hall of Famer. It don't matter.
That graph thing. Put up the ones with the 3 team, with the one that have the 3 All Stars and the 4 All Stars on the roster.
Let me bring it up.
4 All Stars on the roster, at least. I think it was like 3 or 4 teams in the 2000s. I remember that Atlanta team that they shit on so much.
And LeBron
faced all of them.
And LeBron had to face all of them. Go ahead and bring that up if you got it.
I remember Boston had 4 of them with Rondo, Pierce, Ray Allen, and Paul, and your boy.
Yep.
Garnett.
Yep. And LeBron's never been on a roster with 4 All Stars on the team. He's never had 4 All Stars on the team.
But while you looking up that graph, than everybody else, right?
Yeah, but while you're looking up that graph, Brandon, let me bring up the teams that had the most All NBA selection players on a roster. Oh, he brought it up. So let's talk about this. Since we're going to talk about this, let's bring this one up. All right, so right here you can see these are all the NBA rosters that had 4 All Stars, 3 All Stars or more, and these are the ones that had 4. If you look at the teams that had 4 All Stars or more, 5 of them sat in the 80s. In the 2010s, and then you only had 1 in the 80s, and you had 1 in the 90s, and you had 1 in the 70s, and 1 in the 60s. All right, and only if you really look at it, only three teams won championships with that kind of a roster. All right, but LeBron had to actually face all those teams in the 2000s. Every team that you see there, from the Pistons, the Celtics, the Hawks, and the Warriors, LeBron had to face. And then if you look at the teams who have the 3 All Stars on the same team, you can see that not many of them were able to win championships, right? Because you got the Heat, you got the Celtics who won a championship in 2008, you got the 80s Lakers, you have the 80s Celtics, okay, and that's really it. You don't have no other teams, and you have the Pistons who had 3 All-Stars in 90, and that's a team Jordan couldn't beat, right? And they always talk crap about Jordan lost to them. But when you look at the teams here, which ones did Jordan face? Which ones were tough competition compared to? Look how many teams are in the 2000s.
There was only one in the 90s, right? He never faced them, right?
Well, there was only one team in the 90s that had 4 All-Stars or more. That was the 98 Lakers. And he never faced them. So he never had to deal with them. But in the 90s, there was teams that had 3 All-Stars or more. Now
Utah beat them though. Utah beat them though. That's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say Utah beat LA. So
that's fine. They can say, they can say that, but Utah also had 2 All-NBA players. That's why we talk about All-NBA. Because in reality,
Kobe, he was a bench player.
Kobe's not supposed to be on that All-Star team, but he makes it because of voting. Right?
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? He makes it because of voting. He was a starter in the All-Star, but wasn't even starting on his team. So you know what I'm saying? That the All-Star is a popularity contest. The starters get voted in. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said the All-Star is not a good measurement.
That's why
All-NBA.
All-NBA is more credible.
All the time, I say, All-Stars are just a popularity contest. You can't really that in.
Yeah. But even if they want to bring it up, it's right here. You can see the teams. LeBron had to face the 08 Pistons. He had to face the 08 and 09. He didn't face the 09 Celtics, but he had to face the 09 Magic, who had 3 All-Stars. He had none on his team, but just him by himself. He had to face the 2010 Celtics by himself with 3 All-Stars on it. So then he gets on the Heat, all right, and he faces the Celtics in 2011. They have 4 All-Stars, while the Heat only have 3. You see what I'm saying? And the Heat beat them. The Heat don't win the finals or whatever, but then the Heat win the next 2 years, and they win 2 titles then. All right. Then you have, like I said, the 2019 Warriors. LeBron was already in LA then, so he didn't really get a chance to face them. But then you have the teams that have the 4, which is the 2006 Pistons, the 2011 Celtics. He beat the 2015 Hawks, who had 4 All-Stars on that roster. Okay, so that's like they talk about tough competition. This is all what's going on in the 2000s. I don't see that going on in the 90s. You see what I'm saying? So. Yeah, and then when you talk about how they want to talk about with the cumulative All-NBA players on it, I got a list of the teams that have a minimum of 25 All-NBA selection players on their roster, and out of those teams, only 2 of them has won championships, and that's the 1972 Lakers and the 2020 Lakers. All these other teams, and the 2004 Lakers was actually the team with the most All-NBA selections with 38 on their roster, and they lost in the finals. But now it's the 2022 Lakers with 44 All-NBAs on their rosters. But the 2011 Celtics had 32, and LeBron beat them. Okay. And if you want to, and
they was healthy.
Yeah,
Celtics was healthy. Lakers wasn't healthy. So we can go by. I know we stand going by the stats as far as
And at no point in time did the 2010 Miami Heat with LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade ever accumulate over 25 All-NBA players on their roster. So, and when you look up the numbers here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 15 teams. Out of these 15 teams, over half of them are from the 2000s. Okay, so these are, like I tell people, super teams were always around because if you go back to the 70s, you had the Lakers that had these type of teams with all these rosters. The only team in the 90s that had accumulated a lot of All-NBA players was the Rockets in the late 90s. They had obviously not Dennis Rodman, Barkley, Drexler, and Hakeem. Yeah, and then Hakeem. But no, they ended up getting Pippen in 99. In 99, they had a total selection of 29 All-NBA players on the 99 roster. All right, so like I said, this whole idea about super teams only exists in LeBron's era, and LeBron's the only one that's actually benefited or failed with super teams is nonsense. As you can see, plenty of teams had many All-Stars on their rosters and didn't win championships or didn't make the finals. A lot of teams with all NBA players on their teams didn't get too far. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron had to face a lot of these teams as well. So, the competition level in LeBron's era, like we always say, it's always been top notch. The 90s obviously didn't have that. And I keep telling people in the 90s, teams were not allowed to actually gather up rosters like that. They couldn't do it. That's why the Rockets was the only team that was really able to do it in the late 90s. No one else can do it. But the Bulls definitely always had 2 All-NBA players when they were going into the finals besides 91. Besides 91. Okay. 91 was the only year that, that the Bulls Pippen was all defense in 1991, but he wasn't all NBA. He didn't make the all NBA team in 1992.
Oh, okay.
From there, he went 7 times in a row. So he was even all NBA in 1998, and he missed like 30-something games. Shows you how weak the position was as far as forward.
Exactly, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Look, I don't want to cut you off right here, bro, but I gotta make mention of this shit. Okay, I did a post on this shit. You can look this shit up in NBA Real Talk. If one of the admins ain't delete my shit, because they be deleting my shit all the time. But anyway, you go to that post, you'll see what I'm talking about. Scotty Badback Pippen still made first team all defense with a bad at back. He missed first half of the season. Now, you talk to Jordan fan, they talk about, well, Jordan won the championship. He was the only all-star on his team. Pippen didn't make the all-star that year. The only reason why he didn't make because he didn't play the first half of the fucking season. For one, okay? Number 2, this motherfucker still made first team all defense. I think, was he all NBA too, first team?
I think it was third team.
Now he made all NBA.
He still made all NBA team though. But you first team all defense, and you missed almost half the season. And I told him, motherfucker, I said the competition it was trash, man. Don't you can't tell me shit about the 90s. Wasn't nothing special about that shit.
But it's not like he's going up against teams with a lot of all-stars either. So you know what I'm saying? That's the point too, because like I told everybody in the 90s, the NBA literally kept teams from getting other players like that. So every team had an all-star or 1 star. So that was really it was hard to gather up a bunch of good players on one roster. You really couldn't do that.
But the Bulls conveniently get Tony Kukoc, who at the time was the best international player in the world.
Yeah, because when you look at here, right, the teams that had 3 all-star players on them in the 90s, you got the 1990 Celtics and the Pistons. The Pistons wins the championships. Then you have the 91 Blazers. They lose to the Lakers in the playoffs. Then you have the 92 Pistons. You have the 93 Cavs, the 94 and the 94 Bulls and the Knicks. Then you have the Sonics doing it in 95 and the 97. And then you have the Rockets in 97, and that's it. Those are the teams that had 3 all-star players on them or more. That's really it. And like Jordan didn't have to face most of those teams. I think he faced the Cavaliers in 93. And I believe he faced the Pistons in 1990, but which we all know he lost to them. So he didn't face none of these teams.
Okay, now, how many all NBA players did Lakers have?
From beating the Bulls.
I'm sorry, what happened?
I believe the Cavs would have beat the Bulls in '93 too. They needed one more piece, and I think they could have beat Chicago. And after '93, that's when their window closed.
Which Cleveland team?
93.
93.
Oh, the 93 Cleveland team could have beat Chicago that year?
Yeah.
The 93, didn't they have like 3 all-stars that year or something?
But that's what I'm saying. I think the Bulls faced them. I think the Bulls beat them.
Yeah, the Bulls
beat them. Yeah, of course.
That's when the shot happened. Well, he hit the shot with Fred Gilo.
No, that's
not 93. No, that was in 93.
No, that was in
90. You right, 88. Wasn't that 88?
In 1993, the Bulls. In 1993, the Bulls swept Cleveland, who had 3 all-stars on their team.
Yeah.
They swept Cleveland.
Yeah, the Bulls.
So he did face and beat the team with 3 all-stars there.
You said Brad Daugherty, Mark Price, and
he faced the team. Yeah, I said he did face a team with 3 all-stars, but we were talking about in the late 90s. He didn't face. I told you the 2 teams that he faced in the 90s that had 3 all-stars on their roster or more is the 93 Cavs and the 1990s Pistons. He lost to the 1990 Pistons and he beat the Cavs, so he's 1-1.
Okay, 1-1.
Yeah,
but if we go to LeBron, LeBron faced the 08 Pistons. He faced the 08. I think he beat the 08 Pistons. In reality, he faced the 08 Celtics. He lost to them. He lost to the 09 Magic. He lost to the 2010 Celtics. But then he beat the 2011 Celtics.
So
he beat the 2015 Hawks. So he beat those 3 teams right there. And my bad. And he beat the 2016 Warriors.
You said the 09 Magic though. How much they had? They had 3.
They had 3 all-stars on that team.
Dwight Howard, I think.
Dwight Howard, Rashard Lewis.
Was it Jameer Nelson?
It might have been Jameer Nelson. Yeah,
I believe Jameer Nelson. They had.
Rashard used to shoot that bit. Now, but let's talk about that Houston team. I mean that Orlando team for a second. Because folks talk shit, be like, how many Hall of Famers do they have? But I'm like, it's a bit Eric Bennett, bring them motherfuckers up all the time. Talking about, how many Hall of Famers they had. Well, I'm like, bitch, you're talking about dudes made an all-star team, but they had a team full of snipers. They had motherfuckers coming off the bench shooting the three. Michael Petrus, Hito Turkoglu. You know what I'm saying?
They had a good team.
Redick.
They had a full
team. They had a good team. They had a good team. But again, LeBron didn't have no Hall of Famers neither. It was just LeBron.
Exactly.
So it wasn't like LeBron had a bunch of, and LeBron didn't have two All-Stars. I mean, I think maybe Zeke was an All-Star in 2009. I don't know, maybe Mo Williams, but he didn't have three All-Stars. He still faced a team with three All-Stars in it. Jordan with 500 against teams with three All-Stars. So it's, but again, LeBron had to face more of those teams. At the end of the day, he's still facing more of those teams, and he's not doing it with a Pippen. Both times Jordan faced him, he had Pippen on his side. All-NBA player.
Here goes the thing that people don't understand, right? When you talk about LeBron in his first stint with the Cavs, like LeBron, that team, they were not going to get any better. People didn't want to trade for LeBron's teammates because they knew LeBron made them look better.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Larry Bird said that shit.
Yeah, Larry Bird. I was about to say, I literally seen that come out of Larry Bird's mouth. He's like, I don't want those players. They playing with LeBron. So, of course, they're a lot better.
Well, I mean, again, they like to talk all the crap about these all-star players, right? But when you look at the teams, you got this graph also, Brandon. When you look at all the teams that have the most accumulated all-star selections on their roster, which is like 30 or more, there's like 30 teams that have that. Only two of them, only one is in the 90s. It's the Rockets, the 97 and 98 Rockets. They're the only team that have over 30 all-star selections on their roster in the 90s. They didn't win it all, of course. Yeah, obviously they didn't win it all, of course. But my point is that there's other teams that had it, and the Bulls never had to face them. They weren't in the 90s. You see what I'm trying to say? And out of those teams, right? If you bring it up, you can look it up right here. See, these are the most all-star selections on the roster. All right. Obviously, the 2022 Lakers had the most. They had 59. But the 2011 was before this year. Was the 2011 Celtics? LeBron beat that team. All right, and LeBron beat that team without a roster full of all-stars, like they like to say in 2011.
Yeah.
All right, because he didn't have accumulated 30 all-star selections in 2011 on his roster, but he ended up beating the team that had the most of all time.
How many all-stars he got accumulative on this 2022 roster?
59. You see right there, the number one team. This is the number one team. This is probably the most disappointing team in NBA history. If you look at it in the sense of all NBA selections and all-star selections on the roster, because they didn't even make the playoffs. But but again, this is probably one of the only teams that actually has. But look at the teams in the roster. Look at the 2022, which is still the Nets. They got 44 today, and last year they had 41, and they didn't even make the finals. So you know what I'm saying. So like I said, you had the 78 Celtics. They had 42. They didn't make the finals that year. They lost. Okay, you had the 2000. You had the 2004 Lakers. They didn't. They lost. They made the finals, but they lost. You see what I'm saying?
Wait, so is it a safe assumption to say that the teams with the highest number of accumulated all-star selections are the older teams?
Of course. I mean, you can say that. None of them are going to obviously have young players in their prime, right? Because you're not going to be able to do that.
Right.
And that's another thing about the idea of calling these teams super teams, because at the end of the day, all these all-star selections, all these all-NBA selections, once you get them together, it's not easy to win. Again, it's not easy to win with them, because as you look at the all-star selection here, there's only 4 teams that got titles. Yeah. There's only 4 of them. You see, look at it. So there's only 4 of them that got titles, and two of them are LeBron James's teams. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So and like I said,
but not to cut you off,
in the 90s.
This is right. Not to cut you off, because this is some good shit, man. Y'all breaking this shit down statistically.
Yeah.
But what Jordan fans gonna say?
No, but
we're making these excuses.
Yeah,
but they use that E word.
Yeah, but
that's their best friend.
This is my favorite comeback to Jordan fans right now. I say this, okay. The Lakers didn't make the playoffs, right? So you mean to tell me everybody wants LeBron to be the only player in history at the age of 37 to carry a team to the finals and win it? Other person at that age,
guess what?
has never been asked to do that.
Hey, guess what? It's gonna hurt their feelings, because he's gonna carry a team to the finals at an even older age.
Yeah.
That's what's going, because that's what I'm going to say. That's what's going to be the narrative. because they did it for Jordan. But that's what's going to be the narrative. Now I'm going to say he's going to have to have a healthy AD. That's if he's still in the Lakers come next season, whenever he does get that title, he's going to at least get one more before he retires. It is what it is. But when we talking about comparing legacies and how they boosted this agenda to make Jordan look like he carried teams, like he was the only guy that was willing this team to victories. When you had all NBA teammates and you was facing teams that might have had one all NBA player. Okay. Meanwhile, but y'all are knock LeBron for losing against teams that have more all NBA players, and he had less all NBA teammates. Just to keep Jordan where he is.
Yeah, man.
That's why that 6-0 bullshit is what it is. It's bullshit.
Imagine you give LeBron, right, like a solid all-star like Pippen in his prime, like from when he was on his first team.
That's equivalent to him playing with Kawhi in his prime.
Exactly. He'll destroy the league a little bit. He's doing it by himself.
No, you can't say that. It's equivalent to him playing with Kobe because technically LeBron is a small forward.
Right.
So you would have to put a shooting guard there because if we try to depict the situation as close as how it would be in the 90s with Jordan playing with Pippen. So in the case, LeBron and Kobe would have had to be on the same team. And that would have never happened because Kobe chasing Jordan. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron is too.
Or LeBron would have to have had Dwayne Wade from like 2005. Let's just say Dwayne Wade was on the Heat from 2005.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
If Dwayne Wade was because Dwayne Wade and Pippen's kind of like the same as far as where they set at in their eras, right?
Right.
So we know Pippen sit around top 5, top 10. So same thing with Dwayne Wade because Kobe's kind of like Kobe's guaranteed top 5. So that's like giving Jordan Hakeem or Malone, right? That's a little bit that they would have won crazy amount of championships, right? But because the thing is that LeBron only had Wade for those 4 years. That's it. You see what I'm saying? Like he didn't have that.
And Wade was declining.
Yeah, Wade was declining. So if he has Dwayne Wade from 05, if he has Wade from 05 to 2014,
you ain't got to tell me
those
that.
9 years, they're winning. Yeah, those 9 years, they're winning 6 championships easily. Easily. So it's like
LeBron was taking lesser talent to the finals way before that. Imagine he had just one of those players like with him as a sidekick. It'll be a wrap.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's let my boy Marcus get on. He's one of those LeBron haters anyway. So
I can see that Black Mamba.
Go ahead and say what you gotta say.
Bring him in.
Respect to Kobe. Respect to Kobe.
I can't believe you invited me to this podcast.
Wow, you see all those Lakers teams Kobe lost on?
y'all just made my ears bleed, man. What? It sound like don't nobody talking right now really understand basketball at all.
So now you come with some bullshit. But go ahead and hang yourself. Go ahead and jump on this bitch and hang yourself.
It's not
because I'm here for it.
Who got 30 plus years in playing basketball physically and made it past the high school level?
What?
30 years playing ball?
So
I got
20 years. So
I've been playing basketball since I was 8 years old. I'm 40, so that give me 32 years.
Besides B. Lee, who made it past high school?
So you're saying you're a college player?
You talking about
us? I'm a grown ass man.
Hold on, wait a second. I did. I played college ball D1.
Okay, so you understand basketball on a whole nother level than just a fan.
Yeah, no, we wait for you
then. So then go ahead and explain it then, since you just
Okay. And I also play this. My team also made it to the Elite 8 in the NCAA tournament. So go ahead, keep going. I can break it down too.
There's a certain skill set that some players got, right? That other players just don't got. I call it the toolbox. Okay, that means that when a player gets in any kind of situation, offense or defense, I can reach into my toolbox and use this tool to get myself out of whatever situation. Okay, LeBron does not have as many tools as Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant.
What? With that being said, he's the youngest player to average 30 points per game and the oldest player to average 30 points per game. And he ain't got no tool. Come on, man. Come on with the bullshit. No, nobody want to hear that, bro.
Man, mute this man, man.
All right, come on. Let my boy talk. Let him talk.
Go ahead and talk. But go ahead and talk.
He said a toolbox. Where's his toolbox at? Can you explain to me what toolbox? I mean, a toolbox? What are you talking about, bro? Like a tool? What do you mean tools? You mean skills? Like you are literally being the most subjective person in the argument right now. This has nothing to. You're saying LeBron James doesn't have skills?
That is not what I said.
We ain't trying to entertain that.
What do you mean? You mean like what are we ice figure skating? Are we judging people by how they look? Are we judging by what they do?
Let him explain.
Let him hang himself.
He ain't done.
He talking. Let him talk. He hanging himself. Let him continue to hang himself.
Toolbox. Where are you gonna find a toolbox? And I've been coached before. Coach never said go into your toolbox. He said a toolbox. I mean,
let him talk. Please talk.
I'm about to start muting people so he can get his point across.
That's called an analogy for y'all who didn't make it past high school. Okay.
See, look at the disrespect, bro. Come on, bro. We all are grown men here, bro. You are here talking about somebody's intellect when you don't even know what's to the point. All you mad about is the actual facts we brought to you. You said toolbox and intellectual and who played basketball. That has nothing to do with this conversation, but you do not know us like that.
You gonna go to the doctor without knowing your doctor got a fucking doctorate degree?
What are you talking about, bro? So because you play basketball in college, you're allowed to talk about basketball, and whatever you say is the absolute ultimate basketball knowledge, and no one else has it because they didn't play basketball.
Hey, my opinion ain't worth two goddamn nickels, bro.
Jeff Van Gundy did not play all of Division I basketball, and Spoelstra didn't play none of this. But Spoelstra's the top 15 NBA coach of all time. He didn't do none of this. What you talking about? And I'm supposed to listen to you because you said toolbox.
No, you don't have to. First of all, LeBron James has played in the era where y'all niggas wear purses and skinny jeans, okay?
Oh my God! See, look at that. What does that have to do with basketball, my man? You talk about toolbox. How many players in the '90s had a crossover in their toolbox?
I'm gonna have to start muting people now because he's not able to get his point across. Because y'all over talking.
Didn't Dennis Rodman dress like a woman in the 90s?
Jordan wore earring. That was the most metrosexual thing you can do in the 90s, wear an earring as a man. What are you talking about?
He wore one.
Oh my God. See, you see what I'm saying?
He wore one.
Wait, are we gonna be logical and objective about basketball, or are we gonna be talking about subjective nonsense?
If you were soft, you wore one on the right side or whatever side, you wore one on the left side. Stop it, man. We ain't gonna get into the whole gay shit because y'all want to wear purses.
You brought it up.
Who wearing that though, bro? I'm about the same age as you.
It's significant.
I know I probably don't look it, but yeah.
And the reason that it's significant, I ain't taking nothing from LeBron. Ain't nobody seen nothing like LeBron James. Nothing, nowhere in history. The man is a goddamn monster.
Because he's bigger than your toolbox. That's why.
No, he's not. LeBron got two offensive moves. LeBron go down and do a spin move, lay the ball up, and he's playing. If you look back at the old Cleveland offense,
Hold on, Black Mama. He started his offense from half court. Look. LeBron has two moves. That's what you said. Two moves.
The whole point is scoring.
And two moves give him the number one scoring all time. How great is that man?
Hold on, listen. Listen what he did. Look at the old Cleveland offense. He started at half court. And if LeBron at 6'8", 260? If he start full speed and you playing against niggas that's 6'10", 120, you gonna drag them little niggas to the hole. It's not that hard.
6'10", 120? Who's 6'10", 120? Who in the history of the NBA was 6'10", 120 pounds?
No,
I want to know.
Man. Look, everybody's listening. Hold on, let me say this. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, brother. We ain't here to kill you. Okay, but
you don't think
talking
LeBron,
like facts and stats. No, wait.
You don't think LeBron was dragging people
just let
to
me
the rack?
say this. Hold on. Just let me say this, and I'm gonna keep it moving, brother. Look, all I'm gonna say is this: these brothers here are trying to present actual factual numbers that you can't dispute. Everybody has their opinion, but this particular platform isn't for your opinion and emotionalism, bro. We want to hear facts. That's what we debating here. We're not sitting up here talking about no BS tool.
I got something for Mr. Black Mamba.
I'm just keeping it real.
Show
but
me
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Where in Michael Jordan and Kobe's toolbox is a logo shot?
They got multiple shots. You put three people.
I asked you for a specific tool that needs to be in the Kobe and Michael Jordan box. That's in the LeBron box. Where is the Kobe and Michael Jordan logo shot?
They got it. Look at any footage. Look at any footage. Look at any footage to see it.
Who has the better 3-point percentage?
Kobe.
LeBron.
LeBron in the last year?
No,
bruh, we talking career. We're talking career. Wait, this toolbox is what, for only 1 year? What year you want to get this toolbox? It's like a toolbox for every year. So it's like I just want to know, because you keep talking this subjective nonsense. I'm trying to narrow it down.
Not subjective nonsense.
Where's the triple doubles and Michael Jordan and Kobe's toolbox?
This basketball is pass, shoot, dribble, right? Pass, shoot, dribble. That's it.
Okay.
LeBron,
but you miss, so rebounding is included. You miss, so rebound's included. You don't make every shot, so rebound is included.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I give you that. But where's
the triple doubles in MJ and Kobe's box?
You're not teaching that to a basketball player who has a ball in his hand. His options is pass, dribble, and shoot. Now he can do his rebound after that, but that's not how we do it.
You went to college, high school with that knowledge all the way, and nobody told you that somebody got to get the ball when you miss.
We talking about pass, dribble, shoot. From the time that LeBron has the basketball in his hand, what can he do with the basketball besides drag somebody to the hole who's lighter than him?
So next question.
Let me go put on some lotion right quick.
In college basketball with somebody dominating the ball and having the usage rate of LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Kobe?
Who got more ways to score?
They all got ways of scoring. They all got ways of scoring. That's why they're one of the greatest scorers of all time. LeBron does, because he can shoot threes more than they can shoot threes. That's it. He can dunk like they can dunk. He can lay up like they can lay up. He can do a fadeaway like they can do a layup. He can do a reverse like they can do a layup. The only thing that they can't do that LeBron can do is shoot threes. They can't shoot threes.
Come on, bro.
Oh, come on, bro.
LeBron just getting his 3-point percentage up over 30% in the last 2 years. Because
Jordan only got it over 30% when they shortened the line. What are you talking about?
But MJ was doing all that scoring on 3 and 4 people. LeBron is just dragging.
No, he wasn't doing it on 3 or 4 people. He was doing it on one person, one-on-one defense in the 90s. That's what it was. One-on-one.
They called it
illegal defense. It was called illegal defense, my man. You couldn't double team. LeBron was being double teamed without even having the ball in his hands.
That was Greg Popovich playing too?
What? Yes, it was called zone defense.
No, they said, hey, we're going to let LeBron shoot. Greg Popovich, one of the greatest coaches of all time, right? They let him shoot.
And Tim Duncan said we guarded him with 5 players. Tim Duncan said we guarded him with 5 players.
Would any coach let LeBron or Kobe shoot ever in any point in their life? Including
Kobe many times. He beat Kobe many times.
Cool story, bro.
That ain't nobody.
How many times have the Spurs beat Kobe's Lakers? Many times. What are you talking about?
Their plan was not to let the best player on the team shoot.
The what? Kobe? What you mean let the best player on the team shoot?
When they played them Spurs, Greg Popovich said we're gonna let LeBron shoot, and LeBron could not.
We are going to play a zone against LeBron, not let LeBron shoot. LeBron's not jacking up 25 shots a game. So it's not letting LeBron shoot. It's not letting him shoot. It's called zone defense. You're the one who was supposed to be the college-educated basketball player, and you don't understand that?
That they was letting LeBron shoot, and he was bricking. MJ and Kobe can score from right there. Consistently.
In Kobe's 4th year, he was airballing shots. His 3rd year, he was airballing shots in the playoffs. What are you talking about?
Steph Curry,
the Utah Jazz let Kobe shoot like crazy.
Wait. I'd like to interject myself.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Quick. LeBron James. Nope. LeBron James showed he had a mid-range jump shot when he beat the San Antonio Spurs in Game 7. After y'all said Ray Allen saved him in Game 6. Go look at the tape. They backed off of him on
29 straight points against Detroit in 2007. He didn't do that just going straight to the layup. LeBron had 29 straight points against the Detroit in 2007 Eastern Conference Finals, and he didn't do it just going to the rim. Get out of here with that nonsense. The Spurs played zone defense. They had a chance. No, Jordan never faced a zone defense. Period in playing.
Wait, but Jordan even said
you can't face a whole team when you have to guard Rodman in the corner.
Jordan even said that.
Jordan never faced the zone. He never faced that.
Can I say something?
Jump in.
Go ahead, J-Rock.
Man, look. Do you know the effect of a zone defense, bro?
He know. He's a college grad. He's supposed to know this.
Absolutely.
I'm a shooter. I know the effect of a zone defense.
So look, bro. When you got a player like Michael Jordan, right? He would never be able to beat no zone defense. His mind not gonna let him.
Oh my God.
His mind not gonna let him. Think about it.
Man ain't gonna
he wouldn't even be able to post up. He wouldn't even be able to post up. So all the back half 90s, he ain't doing none of that.
What you mean? He ain't playing with his back to the basket.
Listen.
You can't do that against zone. You can only do that with illegal defense when you can clear one side of the floor and let Jordan have one-on-one against a 6'3" shooting guard.
It ain't matter about no damn zone. If you got one, you got.
Okay. Pete this. Let mama.
He was a college. He said he went to play basketball in college. He said zone don't matter. This man really came in and said we don't know basketball.
He let me finish, bro.
All right,
if I can put somebody on my back from the
I wanted to ask a question, but I done forgot the mother.
So the whole team gonna come guard me from the free throw line.
In a zone, I can do that. I can wall you up like they did Giannis in Toronto in 2019 and put everybody at the free throw line. Yes, I can do that.
If I'm Jordan with the basketball, I can put one person on my back from the free throw line extended and score 40.
No, you can't. He can't. He didn't do it in the 90s.
He's not in the 90s.
Why did he do it in the 90s?
He's not going to even have the same average, bro, against no zone defense.
He's not.
The zone defense going to make him get that ball out of his hand. And if he don't get the ball out of his hand...
The only way Jordan can beat a zone is if he's surrounded by shooters.
Ain't no transition basketball either, huh?
All right.
How do you transition?
Let mama.
How do you transition? How do you start a transition?
How you going to do against the zone defense?
Okay, you know what you just said? A rebound. I thought you said it was all about physical shooting and dribbling. I thought it was about dribbling, passing, and shooting. Now you want to talk about rebounding. Oh my God. Now you want to talk about how you get into a transition without a rebound. Exactly. That's what I keep trying to explain to you. You are not talking basketball, bro. You're talking adoration, popularity. You're talking nonsense. It's not basketball.
We're not talking emotionalism.
Well, for
it's
one thing,
emotionalism.
The Bulls had the best shooters in the league, so they could double team Jordan. But they had Kukoc, they had Kerr before Paxson,
Craig Hodges, John Paxson.
So Jordan would probably average more assists, and they will have to not.
He won't be averaging 30 points per game, and he won't be averaging 27
because all his teammates will be open if you try to double team him.
I already went
you can't
into
play the
why
zone
Jordan
versus the Bulls.
averaged much.
They had too many shooters.
Look,
I'm
gonna put it like this because I'm gonna put it like this. LeBron James is himself. He don't have to be compared to whoever you want to compare him to. All right, this has always been my take. The time that would have solidified if a GOAT conversation was to come up when if he would have won in Cleveland the first time. That was
he didn't have to.
All right.
He didn't have to.
All right, y'all.
Let me talk about that. Let me say something about that, bro. Let me say something about that.
One more take. All right, J Rock.
Let me say something about that.
Let J Rock go. It's a little take.
See, this is what I be trying to say, bro. He didn't have to win no ring in Cleveland. Now his first 7 years, think about how much winning he did. He won so much that they wasn't gonna be able to give him no good picks around him. He already won so much. But see what I'm saying? The only thing he was doing was losing in the playoffs.
Listen.
He didn't win no
Let's make it
ring.
even simpler. Let's make it even simpler. Let's make it even simpler. When LeBron was there, what first team All NBA teammate did he even have?
That's what I'm talking about.
What All-Star teammate
Y'all
did he
cut
even
me
have?
out though.
But Jordan, know what I'm saying?
Made it to the finals. What are y'all talking about?
I know you want to cut it short. That's all. I'm just trying to help out. I don't want to step on nobody's toes.
No, because what I'm saying is it would have solidified him because then that would have been the narrative. Then he would have won with nothing. And could nobody say shit?
What I'm saying,
who in history did that?
But if we talk about Jordan, if we talking about Jordan though.
No, the only player in history that did that is Akeem Olajuwon. He's the only player in history that can say he won without an All-NBA teammate, an All-Star teammate.
Because he was in the 90s, because the 90s didn't have it. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You don't hold Jordan accountable for the 80s because the type of teams Jordan had to face in the 80s were just better than him. And in the 2000s, the teams that LeBron had to face were just better than the teams he faced. That's it. That's when
LeBron faced the best team.
Here's the problem. You want me to give him as much credit for making it to the finals as he won the finals.
Okay, so winning your conference has nothing to do with nothing. So winning your conference means nothing. Okay, actually getting a conference title means nothing.
All right, y'all.
Oh, let's see. You gonna put your phone away? You gonna put your phone away now, right?
Let's move on to the next topic. All right, we're done with this.
Go to the next topic, man. Go to the next topic.
Man, this is good shit, though. That's good shit, but
no, next
topic. They ain't let me talk good enough.
The next topic is perfect because Brandon is gonna break it down. Go ahead, Brandon. The next topic is perfect for this discussion because he's gonna break it down. Go ahead, Brandon. Break it down.
Y'all up here teaming up with my boy. Come on now. Let's move on to the next topic.
This is Goat James Kingdom. It ain't Kobe Kingdom. It ain't MJ Kingdom. I'll let you know that off rip.
Hey, I'm in the swamp, man. I'm in the damn swamp.
No.
All right, let me bring this up. All right,
son.
Go ahead, brother.
I'll tell you,
bring that knowledge. Bring that facts. Bring no emotionalism, no popularity, no subjectiveness,
no bias.
Exactly.
Straight facts. Thank you.
All right. All right, hold up. Let me bring Keanu. All right. So this is the next topic. So right here, I'm gonna just discuss. I hear
somebody gotta turn off their mic.
Yeah, I hear echo going on. All right, it should be cool now.
All
right, so right here, I'm gonna just discuss Michael and Jordan year by year. So we're gonna start, when they first started playing basketball, high school. It's not really a debate. LeBron was a three-time high school champ, two-time player of the year. Jordan wasn't even Mr. Basketball in this state. So those 4 years is gonna go to LeBron. Like, that's not even a question. All right, so let's get to 19 years old. LeBron goes straight to the league. He's the first pick overall, rookie of the year. Hold on. Yes. All right. He's the first pick in the draft. He's rookie of the year. Jordan was like the fourth best team of his college team, so that goes to LeBron. Next year, 20. LeBron averaged 27, 7, and 7. All NBA. Jordan still in college. Advantage LeBron. 21. Jordan college player of the year, third pick in the draft, but he wasn't even the top prospect in his own draft class. And LeBron averaged 31, and he was, the All NBA first team. So that's LeBron.
Great.
All right. 22. Jordan, rookie of the year, averaged 28 points a game. That's pretty good. However, LeBron led his team to the finals, and Jordan exited in the first round. That's advantage LeBron. 23. LeBron, All NBA first team. Jordan was only able to play 17 games because he got hurt. Advantage LeBron. All right, let's go to 24. So from 15 to 24, it's LeBron. LeBron MVP of the league. Jordan led the league in scoring, but MVP trumps a losing season with a scoring title. So the first 10 years is all LeBron. All right, so now let's go to age 25. That's when LeBron wins MVP.
Where's Jordan's championship? Where's his
Okay. No, we're going. Come on. He was the fourth best player on the team. LeBron was first pick in the draft, rookie of the year in the NBA. That's the advantage LeBron.
His championship.
He's going by their age. So at the age of 25, Jordan didn't have a title.
All right. Okay. Age 25. Yeah, age 25. LeBron won MVP won 60 games, but Jordan won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. So that's advantage Jordan. 26, LeBron's in the finals. Jordan didn't make it that far. Advantage LeBron. 27, LeBron MVP, Finals MVP, most first place votes on the all defensive team, and Jordan won a scoring title. Advantage LeBron. 28, LeBron repeats what he did the prior year while defeating the Spurs, and Jordan wins his first title versus an injured Laker. That's advantage LeBron.
Okay.
29.
I see why you put that.
Yeah. 29. You know, Jordan is MVP, Finals MVP. LeBron lost in the finals. That's Jordan. Simple. Age 30. Jordan did the same thing again. Won his third straight title. LeBron averaged 36, 13, and 8 in the finals, but he lost. Advantage Jordan. 31. This when Jordan, quit basketball. LeBron, beat Golden State down 3-1. Advantage LeBron. 32. LeBron averaged a triple-double in the finals, but they lose 4 games to 1. Still, but Jordan, he's just making it back to the league. He lost in the second round. So that's advantage LeBron. 33, Jordan wins his 4th title, MVP of the league. LeBron didn't win the finals, advantage Jordan. 34, that's, Jordan again, he won his 5th title. LeBron was 3rd team all NBA. 35 is where it gets tricky. Jordan was MVP of the league, finals MVP, but he struggled in the finals. He shot 41%, averaged 4 boards, 2 assists a game. LeBron, they won the title. He averaged 30 points a game, 59% field goal percentage, 41 from the 3-point line, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Performance-wise, LeBron
trumps him.
Trumps that.
At 35.
Yes. 36, 37. We all know Jordan didn't play those years. So those advantage LeBron. And I'm not counting those Washington years because apparently those years do not count. So, all right.
Yeah.
And that's at 38, 39, 40. So we got to wait for next year.
Them Jordanians want to count them Washington years right now.
So out of 23 years, Jordan had 5 years better than LeBron. So what is this? Jordan is so superior than LeBron we talking about?
Yeah, go ahead. Come on, Black Mama. We want to hear this. Come on now.
Man, this is so cute. Oh my God.
Okay, yeah.
It's not. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. I know what people want to hear.
You got to break it down, man.
I just put the facts out.
You can't when you bias your opinion, it's hard to break it down because they all just opinions. Even if you bring the numbers, LeBron played longer and he got more minutes clocked. So he should have more, his numbers should be better.
We're not doing total. We're doing year by year by their age. I'm not doing total career. Totals. That's not even in this argument.
I know, but it's some years you didn't even mention the statistic. You waited till you got to age 33 to mention one statistic at all. And you just gave whichever one you want. Then he retired and played basketball. How does him going to being the finals MVP trump Jordan? So then it's like the decision that you have to make, which is a tough decision, to switch fucking sports in the prime of your fucking life gets no credit, but making it to the finals and not winning is being the finals MVP is more credible.
So that's
quitting does not get credit. You don't quit and get credit. You don't quit and get credit.
That's pretty obvious, right? You don't go play another sport and be better than somebody who's finals MVP.
Wow, bro.
It don't work that way.
Hey, Viv, can you put your microphone off, man? Because the wind is blowing.
Hey, Keon, can't.
Okay, so Black Mamba, even if we take away 36 and 37 because Jordan is retired, right? And we take away the 31 years old because Jordan was retired, right? Because he was playing baseball then. You're only taking away 3 from LeBron. It's still 20-5 LeBron.
Yeah. Where's Jordan's
Where's Jordan's what?
His college championship, his NCAA title. Where is that at?
The NCAA title was what? When he was 20 years old?
He was 19. He was 19. LeBron at 19 was in the NBA. How is that better than an NBA player? He wasn't even good enough to go to the league the next year.
He wasn't even the best player on the team.
Yeah. How is that better than LeBron?
So you taking credit from his accomplishment? What kind of mess is that?
We're not taking. We're just
No,
saying what accomplishment
it's
is better.
comparing two
We're just saying
players
one is
at their
better.
age at the time.
At 19
Who was
years
better?
old, being the rookie of the year, being in the NBA, averaging 20 points per game is better than being a role player on a college championship team. You don't think so? No.
I give you that, but I'm just saying it's not.
That's all we're saying. That's
But
all
hold
we're
up.
saying. We're not saying the championship don't count and that it's not a great accomplishment for Jordan to be a part of a college championship team, to be the player of the year in college. We're not taking that away. We're just saying that when Jordan was doing that. No, but when Jordan was doing that, what was LeBron doing?
Exactly. All
You
you're
feel
doing is
me?
comparing what they were doing at the same age.
I know,
At the
but
same age. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. We're not taking nothing away from MJ.
It's like if you got a high school title, you got a college title, you got an NBA title.
Well, LeBron won the title at the time in high school.
I don't think Jordan has a high school
LeBron
title.
got three high school titles.
I don't think MJ has a high school title.
LeBron didn't win Jordan didn't win a high school title.
That's
But
what I'm
still.
LeBron got a state title and a national high school title.
But he got 3 of them though.
Yeah, he got 3 of them and 2 national titles. He was 2-time player of the year in college, in high school. But still, we're going like age by age. We're not discrediting anything. We're not taking anything away from MJ. We're just saying at these point in time in their age, this is what they're doing. Yeah, those years that Jordan won those titles, he had a better year than LeBron most of those years.
Okay, but let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this, Black Mamba. When Kareem won 3 championships out of 4 years and was the greatest college player for 4 straight years, don't his fans and people talk about that when they claim him being the GOAT? Don't they add that a part of it, saying that what he did at UCLA is one of the reasons why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is one of the greatest players to ever play the game?
No, I've actually never heard that argument.
You've never heard nobody say he won 3 out of 4 championships?
When they talk about Kareem, they mention this.
Hold on. So you never heard the argument that Kareem was so good that they banned dunking in college basketball?
You never heard
that argument?
Not as it pertains to him being the GOAT. No.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
No, Kareem definitely is the GOAT.
That's a part of being the GOAT, though. Why would you not mention that if you're going to say he's the GOAT?
About resume, if we talk about the resume from college to the
high
pros,
school.
Yeah, I mean, Kareem, bro.
Listen,
gotta be
most
Kareem.
arguments people got for Kareem is because he got all of those titles. Those are the
not because he has 6 titles. It's because he has the most scoring. He has the hook shot. He has 12 all defensive teams. He has 5 rebounding champions. Like, all of these things are included when people talk about Kareem, bro. That's why I tell you, MJ fans and Kobe fans are so biased that they literally don't talk about other things at all. You guys keep it to whatever Kobe and Jordan did. Whatever was in Kobe and Jordan's toolbox is what you guys consider the actual discussion. If it's not in that toolbox, there's no need to talk about it. That's how y'all basically treat it.
Fellas, can I say something?
Yeah. Go ahead and say something.
If you say numbers, it's it's
everything.
Tough
You have to do
man, the numbers is over.
Everything.
If you argue numbers, it's LeBron's favor heavy.
It's tough to only
Fellas,
judge about numbers, because if you say just the numbers, then obviously he got better numbers than MJ. But it's hard to say that because then it's like you got to go to like that will to win in that whole.
The whole emotionalism of
Brandon, bring up the Kobe and LeBron stats from when at the same age, at 35 or whatever.
All right, okay, y'all.
I look at who Kareem matched up against too.
This is how powerful it is. Every one of y'all to this day, if you ball up a piece of paper, not one of you'll be lying. You'll be a liar. You ball up a piece of paper and you shoot into a garbage can and you say 3-2-1 LeBron. You won't do that.
If I pass the ball, I'll say LeBron.
So
I done said a million times LeBron is
I
better
say
than
Kobe
Jordan.
because I'm gonna miss it.
That's you. That's you.
No, look.
But you gotta say something about that aspect though, because that's ingrained in you too.
As much as Kobe's great,
You talking about a person being mentally programmed. If I keep hearing over and over and over and over again that Jordan the greatest, I'm gonna think he the greatest. If every time I see somebody on TV imitating somebody and all they saying is Jordan, you talking about that's how you embrace some shit.
Contest, it's Michael Jordan.
All right, you guys have to let other people talk. Y'all got to let other people talk.
Check it out, fellas.
All All right, let me go ahead.
Hey, all you guys are making great points. And me, I'm 49. I'm about to be 49. I've seen a lot of basketball. I've worked in the CBA, been around a lot of NBA players. I'm going to tell you this. Kobe is one of the greatest. Mike is one of the greatest. LeBron is one of the greatest. Kareem, one of the greatest. So when you say greatest of all time, well, Lou Alcindor or Kareem, Will Chamberlain is one of the greatest. I mean, to me, to me, he could be put in that conversation. Bill Russell.
Kareem were rivals. You got to put him in the conversation.
But you could put Bill Russell in the conversation.
Because Bill Russell and Wilt was rivals.
And Dr. J. Don't forget Dr. J.
Okay, hold on.
No, I ain't gonna say Dr. J.
I talk about shit.
No.
Me. Listen, Dr. J won an NBA championship.
Hold on.
Let him talk, Anthony.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
Hold on. And this brings me to my point. The greatest of all time, in my opinion, who is transcending the game? That's the greatest, because if you could come in,
LeBron?
He did. LeBron, Mike, Steph. Steph has transcended the game because a lot of kids now, all they want to do is Bill Russell, Kareem, Will, Magic, Penny, because Magic, it was a Penny because Penny was considered Magic with a jump shot. Now LeBron is considered Magic Penny with a complete package.
Yeah, just like LeBron said, he modeled his game after Penny.
You know what I'm saying? So that one leg fadeaway.
So for me, the greatest of all time is who has transcended the game. Who has people came out like Marcus just said. You don't hear nobody saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 LeBron. And that's the fact. But the reason why you don't hear that, because LeBron is a very unselfish dude. Sometimes he's unselfish at the wrong period of time, but that's just his DNA. Because to me, the greatest of all time, LeBron has put his friends in position to be millionaires. That to me shows how he is on the court and off the court. It all correlates. You don't hear about Michael Jordan putting his friends in position. You don't hear about Kobe putting his friends in position to be successful. You don't hear about that. So to me,
Kobe's helped
just
players.
To me,
Kobe's helped players.
No. I'm not saying players.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying his childhood friends.
Okay. I see
outside of basketball.
Yeah.
Because as a basketball player, you're a millionaire. You don't need nobody else.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
So to me, that's the greatest of all time. Not only basketball, but hell, in everything. Now people would say greatest of all time because LeBron speaks up on a lot of things and Mike didn't. It's different eras. So the greatest of all time to me is the greatest of all time of different eras. You can't really say, Mike is not the greatest of all time. For his time, Mike was the greatest. LeBron is the greatest right now. Now the torch is being passed along to Steph is the greatest, or he will be the greatest until he finishes. You gotta look at it in that perspective. Kobe was the greatest of what he did and how he did it. Now, most will say Kobe patterned himself right after Mike. It was like watching Mike in the second coming. But Kobe was great. Now, go back to what Marcus said about the tool bag. He's talking about counter moves. I mean, as a player, as anything that you do in life, you need to have counter moves. Yeah, LeBron, he don't show many counter moves, but like you guys said, how did he become the greatest or the all-time leading scorer without only having 1 or 2 moves? To me, that goes to how dominant he is as a player. 6'9", 6'8", 260 pounds, freak of nature. We could go back and say Shaq, freak of nature. How nimble he was at over 300 pounds. We could go back and say Barkley, freak of nature, being 6'4", carrying all that weight and moving how he moved. So it's really opinionated who the greatest of all time is, and that goes to MVP. It's opinionated. Like, it goes to what is your definition of MVP, or what is your definition of greatest of all time? So we always gonna have the great debate of who the greatest of all time is, because it is truly opinionated. Now, when you bring the black and white into it, the numbers, a lot of people say, well, the only reason LeBron is doing XYZ because he's playing the longest. Is that his fault because he can sustain and still play? That's not his fault.
That's an achievement.
That's not his fault.
That's an achievement.
Right. It's not his fault that his body, his DNA, his mindset, and what he has done to prepare to be the greatest of all time or to sustain and continue to play.
The man
Because we all know at a
drink.
certain age.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we all know that at that age, we might have been hung it up. You know, who's to say? But it just attributes to how he takes care of himself. Same thing, Tom Brady. He said, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I feel like I can still do it. And he probably can. Because once again, it's about a mindset. It's about how you take care of yourself. You know, so the greatest of all time is a debate that we're always going to have. It's never going to stop. You know, and like I said, everybody is bringing up great points because it is, one, your personal opinion. So, but you can fact check and you can see things, you know, and it's not to insult anybody intelligent, but Black Mamba, I know him personally. That's a little cuz. He loves Kobe and he loves Mike.
Kobe.
I love LeBron because I like the way that LeBron plays. Kobe. Because LeBron is in my opinion, a very unselfish dude. But at times, he has to not be unselfish and he has to have that Jordan, that Kobe mentality of, oh, hey, you know what? I'm not giving the ball to nobody. I'm going to make it. But on the flip side of that, Mike did pass it when he had to pass it. On the other side, Kobe didn't. To me, Kobe was a straight up gunner. He's not passing it to nobody. Kobe will prove a point. Kobe will prove a point and go 1-on-5 and don't care what the team say because that's just the mentality that he had.
He proved a point in 2004.
He passed it. He passed it to Artest, though. He gave Artest that pass, and Artest drained it.
Oh, yeah, because he didn't.
Artest was like, oh, my God, Kobe passed. Oh, shit. I got to make it.
You know what? Because he know Ron was crazy. Because he know Ron was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, I enjoy hearing the spirited debates, you know, because it's good, you know, and everybody gets up on their knowledge. People figure out stuff that they didn't know because you guys are pointing out some things, you know what I'm saying, that we probably didn't look at. So it's a good spirited debate. Hey, Brand, look, cuz, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some really good guys on here that's passionate about what they believe in. And that ain't nothing wrong with that.
They passionate. Ain't that right, Marcus? They passionate.
But let me add to that. What you said, K. Viv, is honestly and it's the truth. This is really a subjective argument. It really is an opinionated argument. There's a lot of ways that you can decide which player you just decide is just the best of all time. You know what I mean? So, you know, with that being said, the point of the show is to bring some objectivity to the conversation. Let's see how we can really break this down so it's not just about, like you would say, who calls out, who can shoot, you know, when they're shooting a piece of paper or who's the most popular player and things of that nature. Because when you really look at it, to be honest with you, Michael Jordan is the most adored athlete of all time. There's nobody going to be more beloved than Michael Jordan. It's just, let's face it, he took the NBA to levels that no one else could have ever took the NBA to, and you got to give him credit for that. And that's why he's always in the GOAT conversation. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when we talk about the NBA, man, Bill Russell changed the NBA in the 60s. But the Magic and Bird beef really took the NBA to the national, you know, forefront. MJ made it global. You know, MJ made it global. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron inherited that. Yeah, and, you know, Kobe and LeBron inherited the NBA that Jordan created. You feel me? Now, Stephen Curry.
Oh, absolutely.
And now Stephen Curry is taking it to another level as far as the play, the way they play the game. And that's another topic that we can have to bring up is who changed the way the game is actually played. And Michael Jordan factored in that. And also is Stephen Curry.
Iverson.
Iverson. Iverson was more or less of a cultural thing. Iverson allowed us to be.
But it changed it changed the game because if you think about it, Iverson with the crossover, and then you got N1. Yeah. Everybody wanted to do tricks.
AI was real popular. AI was real popular because before that we had Tim Hardaway when he dribbled the ball side to side.
You tap two-step.
And they was like, wow.
You tap two-step.
Yeah.
Like
Iverson brought the street. Iverson brought the street to the league. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, he did. Because you know, contrary to the Black Mamba's, you know, toolbox, a lot of guards didn't have crossovers in their toolbox in the 90s and the 80s. You couldn't even do it in the 70s and the 60s because they were called carry. You had to keep your hand above the ball before the 80s. You couldn't go crossover. You couldn't do that. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of tools that went in them toolboxes, bro.
Kobe was the first big guard with the crossover. He was the first big guard with the crossover.
Well, Grant Hill. You remember Grant Hill used to kill them. They couldn't stop Grant Hill. Grant Hill had all the moves. He can go left, he can go right, and he was a big guy.
I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't. Grant being 6'6", 6'7". Yeah, Grant was nice with it.
But
I mean, he was.
what does this mean? Like when you hear somebody like Shaquille O'Neal, and somebody wants to argue LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan, then you look at the ultimate goal for any basketball player is to win a championship. That's just beyond the skill. Like that's the goal. You get in the league, fuck the money, fuck all the fame. You're in the league to win a ring. Because that's it. Once you win a ring, I mean you've accomplished, the highest goal that you get as a player. You got the ring. This is a title. This is a team game. All the individual stats are secondary to your winning a ring. Right,
you can be in those conversations when they talking about championship.
Not all the ways, but yeah, that's a big part of it.
So when Shaq gets asked, all Shaq's response, this is Shaq's response, is that who else is 6-0? So then, does it mean if LeBron if LeBron is 6-4, does that mean anything? It's 6-4 and 6-0. It's like, which one do you take? Even though it's
better. But how going to the finals 4 more times is not better than not going to the finals 4 more times? You both have 6 titles. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
right.
Kareem going to the finals 10 times and still having 6 titles is better than Jordan only going to the finals 6 times. Because you're making it seem like
in my opinion as well,
it's so bad that you can't even count nothing.
Because some guys don't even make it to the finals.
Yeah, no, because guys like Iverson and Malone and Barkley and Ewing and Elgin are all praised for making the finals. CP3 was praised for making the finals last year for the first time. They actually said it helped solidify his career just for making the finals.
But we know that's bullshit.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
He gonna be sitting on that stage just like Barkley, dude. That shit hurts.
No, he is. But Barkley made it to the finals, though.
No, but
Barkley made it to the finals.
But when they're popping champagne in the conference championship game,
I got a question, man.
And they're raising a banner the next year for that, you can't act like they don't sit there and think that they did something good.
I done played 7 different sports, man, and it had never felt good to come in second. Ever.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If you played college basketball, did you feel bad that you won your conference championship, but you didn't make it to the Final Four, you didn't make it to the 64, but wasn't you happy that you made the conference championship and played in it and won it, if anything?
No.
In basketball.
Okay.
You're telling me,
hold on, listen.
Wow.
CAP.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cap.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cap.
Wow.
And look, fellas, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey. I work at 21st Century School right now. They lost semi-state. They lost at semi-state. All right. Was everybody upset? Yes. But you got something to build on. That's an accomplishment.
That's an accomplishment.
You got something to build on.
It is.
I mean,
my point.
And look,
that's one of my
points. These schools on the high school level and on the college level, they get paid money for making it that far, even though they didn't win the big one.
Yeah.
And in the NBA, they get bonus money for making it that far. So they're not mad. Trust me.
Trophies.
They not mad.
That's like
they not mad.
No, it's just putting yourself in a position of an athlete. It's like Chesterton, right? So Travis Grayson. Okay, I coached that little dude when he was with Sean, and I took over that
Sean Smith.
Yep, for 6 months. He wasn't giving that dude a shot. I gave that dude a shot because they was begging me to coach, man. So I did it because I really wasn't even ready to coach at the time. But when I looked up and seen in the paper, Travis Grayson leads Chesterton to his first regional championship, whatever, how long, right? They was elated, and then they made it semi-state, and then they made it down the state. They came up short,
and then they got their head brought to him.
Is he happy? Is he happy? Absolutely, it's an accomplishment. Yes, it is. But it's always gonna be that hole, man. You get that close, and you're not the champ.
Yeah.
It might be his goddamn fuel for the rest of his athletic career. but it's still a void there.
Yes.
But that's only for the players who never actually won a championship.
LeBron won 4 titles.
LeBron's actually won, so he doesn't have that void that you're talking about. Somebody like Barkley has that void. Somebody like Ewing has that void. Iverson has that void because they never really actually crossed the line and won the title. So you can't just necessarily just say because they lost a conference, because like Magic lost 4 conferences. You know what I'm saying? I mean, lost 4 finals. These people lose. Like you lose. So let me ask you a question, is Black Mama, because I've always wanted to hear this in person before without reading this. So when somebody brings up Hondo's 8-0 finals, what is your take when somebody says, "Well, Hondo's better than Jordan because he has 8 finals appearances, 8 finals championships, and never lost"? So how do you defeat 8 over 6?
Then it's always that extra shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what are you
extra shit?
What's
What's
that?
the extra shit?
It's either you want to stick to the numbers. It's either you want to we talk about a toolbox. It's either we talk about your imprint on the game. It's like, what is the criteria? The criteria is constantly changing.
No, I'm not. That's why I'm glad you asked that, because that's
everything
what LeBron
you
fans,
asking us what should be asked to you.
because that's what we're trying to tell you. Because see, look, when we bring up Hondo or Bill Russell because of the titles, right? You guys quickly point out all the other things that MJ has done. So my question is, if MJ can be better than somebody with less titles because of what he did as far as stats and other accolades, why can't LeBron be better than Jordan with less titles with more accolades and stats?
How y'all feel about Pippen though?
Damn good question.
No. I got the ultimate question. Hey, fellas, I got the ultimate question.
All right, what's that?
Seven
Y'all must be
NBA
confused
titles.
about Pippen.
No, hold on. Listen, fellas. 7 NBA titles. Robert Horry, is he going to the Hall of Fame? Yes or no?
No.
Nah, that's sad. It's sad he's not, but he's not. He can't make it. He hasn't done enough.
Hall of Fame is for individual stats.
Now you got to have the all NBAs. You got to have the all defensive teams. You have to have the all-star selections. You have to have the statistics too. You have to have count everything. You can't just make it pick. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say LeBron's the GOAT, because to me, LeBron's not my favorite player. He's just, when you look at all he's done, that's what makes him the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, damn, this guy does everything on the basketball court. It's like, can you argue everything that he does? And then the fact that he's one of the smartest players in NBA history. You know what I'm saying? Without a Hall of Fame coach, without a Hall of Fame college coach. You see what I'm saying? Like, you were able to learn basketball in high school and in college, but like LeBron didn't get that. In high school, LeBron was so great. His coach probably was like the Will Smith Fresh Prince coach. Like, just give the ball to LeBron. You see what I'm trying to say?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even Jordan's early career, he kept losing because he had a coach that didn't know how to really make the team better. Because, you know, when he hit that shot against Elo, they asked Doug Collins, "What did you do?" He said, "Man, give the ball to Jordan. Everybody get the fuck out the way." He literally said that was the play that they ran to win a game. So it's kind of like, that's why he got fired. That's why they had to get a Phil Jackson and to bring in a scheme that could actually help you win. So when you're talking about LeBron and his IQ and his knowledge, it's like, wow, it's like this man was able to learn basketball. Exactly. He learned basketball just being a basketball savant. And he was
being a student of the game.
Yeah, and you could probably say his best coach he ever had was Tyronn Lue.
His high school coach.
Which is Tyronn Lue. I could say Tyronn Lue is the best coach. I don't know how great Tyronn Lue is going to end up being, but Tyronn Lue is a hell of a coach. You know what I'm saying? I can give him that.
He don't get enough credit for it.
I don't know if he's like a GOAT. I don't know if he's going to put him up there with the Popoviches and the Phil Jacksons and the Rileys.
Have you heard his interview with Darius Miles?
Who, Tyronn Lue?
Yeah.
Q&D?
I missed it. Wait.
Yeah, you got to check it out, because he was lost. He really was. To be put in that position, that was a position he wasn't even expecting. He say all this shit on the show. You could, it was weird. He didn't know what to do.
Man, I could just imagine what LeBron would have did with a Jerry Sloan or with a Lenny Wilkins. You know what I'm saying? Or even if he had a Sam Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? Like coaches that. You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron is, come on, Vogel is obviously showed you Vogel's not a good coach, man. Vogel was very
Spoelstra's a good coach, though.
No, Spoelstra's gotten better. As a Heat fan, I can say that, but he's still an average coach, man. It's something about game adjustments Spoelstra just don't know nothing to do about. I just, that was what made Phil so great, man. Phil would adjust on a dime.
Game adjustment.
Phil would try shit like
that makes a good coach.
Yeah, but I mean, Phil was like, "Whatever, we're gonna do this. We're gonna."
Phil
Like when Scottie Pippen
coached the whole game.
When Scottie Pippen said, "Yo, I'm not gonna shoot the ball," he was like, "Okay, whatever. We gonna." He still ran the play. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever.
Yeah. But you know what? You know what? That wasn't really Phil, to be honest. That was Tex.
Who? What you mean Tex?
Talking about
that was Tex Winters.
You talking about the triangle? That was the triangle. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, but that was a gray hair dude. That was Tex Winters. That wasn't all Phil. That was Tex Winters.
He's not a Hall of Fame coach.
We talking about. Oh, go ahead, J Rock.
Yeah, you're right. But like, which one of the players figured a triangle out first?
Well, the one that played in it first.
Well, the triangle. The triangle.
I'm saying one player is the one that made it work.
Oh, Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen. He ran it. He ran the offense.
So what happened though? See, Detroit Pistons, they try to shut Jordan down, which is they couldn't, but they tried.
Jordan rules.
But once they
they figured out they had to stop Pippen. That's
once they figured out they had to stop Pippen, because Pippen no matter how many points, how many shots Jordan take, Pippen gonna always do more on the court than Jordan, bro.
All right, let me state this point. In Game 7 of the 1990s Eastern Conference Finals, Pippen had that migraine and he couldn't play. Yeah. And
what happened?
Jordan couldn't take it on his own to win that game without Pippen. Like his whole.
They got blown out. On top of that, they got blown out too.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
so it wasn't even close. So
if you say you're a Jordan fan, do what Jordan say. Don't say my name without Pippen. I'm just saying, you a Jordan fan? Do what he say? Don't.
Let's be honest. I never forget. Who here doesn't have Jordan in the top 5 all time though? Everybody has Jordan in the top 5, correct?
I
just want to make sure.
Everybody got him in top 3, top 2.
I mean, yeah, he's right behind LeBron for me. But go ahead. All right, I got you. All right, go ahead. All right, good. That's all. I just want to make sure.
All right, y'all. I'm about to cut this off right now. We've been on for like a while. So, Black Mamba, Marcus, you get the last words in.
Go ahead.
Hey, much love, bro. They're my top 3, man. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. I mean, it is what it is. I appreciate all y'all opinions and basketball is my life. I will lose my life on that basketball court, man. I love it more than y'all actually think. I really love fucking basketball. I love it more than I probably love any woman in this world. Period.
Hey, I feel you though,
man.
So one thing about it, I gave basketball they gonna let you down.
That's the Mamba mentality for you. That's a Mamba mentality for you.
40 years of my life to that sport, man. And the one thing I do regret, and I'm gonna say this for y'all and y'all kids and whoever else to come. The only thing I regret is never actually reading the fucking rules to basketball. It's still insane to me to this day that I played for 34 years and I never read the book that the referees have to read to learn the rules to the fucking actual game of basketball. So if y'all coaches or any other coaches start implementing that shit to these kids so they actually read the fucking rules to the game. That shit still, it boggles my mind that I've never read the official rule book to a game that I say I love. That's crazy as fuck to me. But with that, man, I appreciate all y'all. And hey, B. Lee, it's always a pleasure. Whenever you want to have me back, baby, I'm ready.
All right, yeah.
For sure.
Every Sunday, same time.
I'm gonna have a 30 round. I only had my pea shooter today, but I'm gonna have a 30 round next time.
Bring a bigger toolbox.
You bring that pellet gun on back.
All right, same time next week, y'all. All right, we out.
All right, y'all.
All right, guys.
Peace, brothers.
Peace.
All right.